نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد ونعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So day 2 of Tazkiyah An Nafs series, purification of the soul. So today what we will learn is about the types of soul, right? We have nafs inside us, a soul that is inclined towards bad, and then we need to restrain it. So the first type of the soul is nafs su'al ammara, the nafs which inclines people to do harm, to do evil. And when we restrain it, it turns into a nafs which in fact brings us, reminds us of the good. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned this in Surah Yusuf when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي. Verily the self is inclined to evil except when my Lord bestows his mercy upon whom he wills. So purification and control are necessary to overcome this self, this inclination towards evil. People have desires, right? So the desires are necessary. We need to have a certain amount of desire to fulfill our needs of hunger, fulfill our needs of body, fulfill our needs of financial needs. So many needs we have, right? So all these needs, Allah has put certain desires, but if we don't control these desires, then they lead to overspending, overeating, over inclination of the beauty of the dunya. This dunya, when it attracts us and we see pleasures of this world, what happens is that we incline towards it. And what leads to the falling into sin is that this desire, when it is unleashed, then we fall into sin. And when we remember Allah, we remember our going back to Allah. When we remember we have to answer to Allah. So we stop this nafs. So a person's nafs always entices him towards doing sin. Restraining the nafs from bad desires bring Allah's mercy and protects one from the temptations of the soul. And controlling nafs lead to being satisfied in the decree of Allah. So whatever I have, whatever is my qadar, I am happy and pleased with Allah. So when I control my nafs, I will be pleased with Allah. Otherwise, there will be always dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction leads to the removal of the barakah. Now, submitting to the call of Allah towards guidance becomes easy for such a person who reins his self. This happens through Allah's utmost kindness to him. And when a person sins and repents and turns back to Allah, Allah forgives him. And He grants him the strength and ability and tawfiq to perform righteous deeds. So, the lesson from of today's day 2 is that we need to control ourselves by reining in our desires that can lead us to do evil.